Yeah, I know the title of this video, and I could just put Dale Jr. and end it, but honestly, I do think there's actually more to it. But with the race at Nashville having taken place, one of the big talking points was just how happy everyone was for NBC being back. And I can see some people already saying, oh, people are only happy for it because it's the lesser of two evils. But I think NASCAR fans actually genuinely like NBC and their broadcasting style, and I want to look into why that is and why I think that'll keep going and only strengthen more, especially if they do re-sign like they're talking about doing for the 2025 deal. Starting out, it's NASCAR on Fox. Not that it's like NASCAR on Fox, it's just that NASCAR on Fox being the bar does help NBC be the favorite child among NASCAR fans. Let's be real, Fox has been pretty bad. The production quality has been bad, the announcing has gotten bad, just about everything about Fox has hit rock bottom. It is not where it used to be, and that only hurts it more. It's made NASCAR painful to watch for some people, and to be completely honest with you, I don't blame them whatsoever. Fans also need a change of pace from that, and NBC is a drastic change in pace from NASCAR on Fox. So you know what? While Fox was bad, it has helped fans really appreciate just how much they like NBC and how much better NBC really is at this. Unlike Fox, NBC is on topic, and their production is honestly really good and matches what a broadcast today should be. One of the big things that fans talked about on Twitter as well as just at the track when they were able to see some of the broadcast was the fact that NBC, both on Saturday and Sunday, explained rule changes that Fox skimmed over. For instance, the Xfinity Series not having as much skew in the cars. Yeah, we probably talked about that before the season, but how often did Fox bring that up when looking at why certain teams, say like JRM, weren't doing as good or performing like they did last year? That's something really big that needs to be pointed out, and I think needs to be followed up on through the season to see if these teams adapt well to it. And Fox didn't do that. But NBC on the first broadcast explained rules for Xfinity and Cup that made a huge difference in how fans watched. Fans nowadays are very analytical and want an in-depth showing on their broadcast. And you know what? NBC delivered that. That's something that is invaluable to fans nowadays and has shown that these broadcasts are much closer to the present day than we've seen for the first 4 or 5 months of the season. And they also covered plenty of battles on the track. There were a lot of times where NBC was focusing on a fight for 13th because it was the best battle on the racetrack. It didn't matter that it was somebody who had been struggling most of the race. It didn't matter that it wasn't someone charging up towards the front who'd been in the front all day. They didn't just cover the top 3 to 5 drivers, which for me, who is somebody that isn't a fan of one particular driver and really wants to watch for all the storylines, made it so much more enjoyable when I could find out just by watching what was going on. I was sitting in the media center during the Cup race, and they didn't have the audio for it on where I was sitting, but I was easily able to follow the story of the race and what was going on due to how they just put stuff on screen. You could see who was moving forward, who was struggling, who was fighting for the win, and who was fighting for strategy based on graphics and camera angles and everything. There was so much going on that NBC had on the screen that as a fan, it made it more engaging for me to watch, and I'm sure plenty of other people at home felt the same way. And like I said, they act like a modern broadcast. They act professional. They hype up the event. This felt like a big deal, whereas most Fox races this year have felt like just any other thing. It's felt like the lead up so they can promote the USFL a little bit more. Now, another thing for NBC that I think props them up in likability for NASCAR fans is the fact that even when it doesn't work or it's not executed perfectly, NBC likes to try new things and shake it up a little bit. They don't do it when it matters, like the championship or late stages of the playoffs or big events, but like the radio style broadcast, for instance. That kind of broadcast is really good for huge tracks like Indianapolis or for tracks like road courses. And it's a different perspective, and the announcers are able to see what's going on in front of them, instead of like most road courses where you can see what happens in front of you and then 90% of the track you really can't see. And I think it gives them an advantage to a more in-depth and honestly really fun broadcast to watch, because you know the person telling you what's going on can see everything even closer than you're looking at it with. And that's something that I think adds a good flair to them. They had the driver-led broadcast, where Dale Earnhardt Jr. once or twice a year will be the lead commentator while Rick Allen has the race off. And it's something that can really show a different way of viewing a race from a lead commentator, because the drivers know exactly what's going on inside that car, and they can tell you as X, Y, and Z is happening, as the laps are ticking down, fuel is growing really thin on fuel mileage. While all this stuff is happening, what the driver is thinking, and I think it honestly adds something. It shouldn't be done every single race, but I like it being done once or twice a year. Probably once, but still, it's really good. Not the greatest executed plan, but it's still really fun. And then the serious track walk this year. It's small. It's not something that's going to be big for the broadcast the entire time. But with Jeff Burton and Dale Earnhardt Jr. going down pit road, talking about what was going on, with the sound of the cars right there in front of many times this year what will be a packed grandstand, is something that really isn't shown in many other sports. It's something that can be uniquely NASCAR and NBC, and I think it's something fans will really like. And while it may seem like a stereotype for me, the Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan, to say Dale Jr. is a reason NASCAR fans love NBC, it's true. Dale Jr. was the most popular driver from 2003 to 2017, which offers two main components to the NBC broadcast. Number one, you got a popular driver. That's going to bring people in. That was part of their 2018 marketing push, was NASCAR's back on NBC, and so is Dale Jr. But the other aspect of it is that 2017 was only 6 years ago. Dale Jr. has been in the car, and while he has not driven a next-gen car all that much, outside of testing, I don't think he's driven it at all, that is still big when it comes to what a modern-day driver is feeling. I would trust what Dale Jr. or Jeff Burton says about being in a car nowadays way more than, honestly, I'd respect what Darrell Waltrip has to say, having been out of the car for 20-something years, or having been out of the car competitively for 30-something years. It's no disrespect to Darrell, it's just that Dale and Jeff have more experience inside the cars and driving against those that you're watching on screen. It really, really feels great to have that, and with high energy with Junior and passion. The first race out there, slide job. That is a great way to roll off. He's how Tony Romo was before he got annoying on CBS. There's a good amount of historical knowledge as well, which adds a nice flair to that youth and passion, though with a lot of knowledge and wisdom of the sport, and he feels like the glue that holds the broadcast together. I don't think it is a coincidence that it was only when Dale Earnhardt Jr. jumped on that fans really started loving the broadcast, and the broadcast honestly felt a lot more fun and improved a lot in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong, there's things still that need to be improved on NBC, two of which I think are, one, like the other night, moving the startup. I like that. I think they did the right choice there. Maybe just explaining it a little bit better when that has to happen during the broadcast might be a good start. And then also, this is a really, really big one. They do need to be quiet a little more. There's really no room to breathe because someone always has to be talking. And I think it's a product, too, of a four-man booth. But I think all four in that booth can really learn from it. But all in all, those are nitpicks compared to what we had with Fox. Now, I want to pass this on to you. What do you think of NASCAR and NBC? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content. Thank you so much to my channel members for your continued support. And until next time, have a good one.